But I did want to first say all of the forecasts are basically the same. The storm is headed in this direction, slightly east, slightly west, slightly stronger, slightly weaker. But this is a storm where if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, it can be fatal. There will be very high winds, no matter whether they're categorized as a tropical storm or a Category 1, 2, 3, 37 hurricane, whatever it is. There's a lot of blowing debris. Tree limbs come down, and water gets into places that can cause electrical shorts. It is dangerous out there, and the thing that makes the most sense for everybody is to first comply with the mandatory evacuation. It's done because you may be in danger, but as importantly, if, God forbid, you needed some emergency services, our first responders would have to put their lives in jeopardy to get to you and to provide the service. And we're worried that in some cases we just may not be able to get there. And you never know when you are going to need a doctor or something like that. So the storm continues on track. We don't have any other updates. Winds will pick up as you go through the afternoon. The reason that you have rain and then no rain, rain and then no rain is the way a hurricane works. There are these bands of rain that surround it, and when you're between them, you think there's no storm, and when you're under one of them, you get a lot of rain. But we're nowhere near yet the really heavy winds. Those will come in something about 9 o'clock tonight. And the place, the time when you're likely to have flood damage of just literally water all of a sudden pouring over the side of the bulkhead is something like 8 tomorrow morning. The winds are scheduled to subside late tomorrow afternoon, and then we're going to have a whole separate set of issues of how we clean up, and mass transit tries to get back, which probably is not going to happen until well into the day on Monday. So Monday morning is going to be a mess in terms of a commute. But our concern is saving lives. Our concern is making sure that the only thing that comes out of this is inconvenience and maybe a little bit of property damage. We don't need people to die. Unfortunately, I was told about somebody who fell off a ladder earlier when they were trying to board up their house. They haven't died yet, but seriously injured and may in fact be fatal. Now, things happen all the time, but we can take some steps and to try to minimize the damage and prevent as many as we can. We also are going to talk a little bit about power and the possibility of electricity being shut off in some areas. Kevin Burke from Con Ed is going to help us with that. But remember, we're asking buildings to shut off their elevators, certainly doing that in NYCHA. We just don't need people stuck in elevators. And if the power goes out while you're in the elevator, we're going to have to not find out about it, which sometimes is hard to do, and then get the fire department there. And the fire department should be standing by for real emergencies. And so if you haven't evacuated yet, you still have time to do it. There is no mass transit available, but we have buses at NYCHA facilities. You can hail a cop car. Some of the taxis are working. Maybe some friendly motorists will give you a ride, or you can just walk. But just because you say, I'm living on the 10th floor and water's not going to get here, that's true. But that doesn't mean we could get to you or you could get out if you had to. It doesn't mean there isn't going to be flying glass. From the higher you go up, the stronger the winds are. We should heed the warnings and follow what the law says. Please evacuate the A areas, the low-lying areas, and all of the Rockaways.